Now, the next one I'm going to is the reason why this quest can be impossible if you don't do it in the correct order. So we're going to head off to Nellis Air Force Base, and I'll explain to you the glitch that happens. So what ends up happening is there's a man here named Loyal. I'm not going to tell you anything more about him than that, except that he's a requirement for this quest. And don't shoot at me, jeez.
Hey.
I'm trying to remember where Loyal's house is. And if you do the quest Volair, which is the quest we already have for the boomers, and you complete it, Loyal will vanish. He will no longer be in the game. Sometimes they say that he goes to Black Mountain. In the file that this glitch occurred, I have already done it. And and he's just not there. So you have to do, you have got to do this before Volair, and it's a really sad glitch, but it's the way it is. I cannot remember for the life of me where Loyal's house is. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, now I remember. We're over here. Alright, now there are 3 people that you have to talk to in order to get Raul's story, and then basically the companion quest ends. It is Loyal, Ranger Andy, and... I don't remember the guy's name. But that's okay. Alright, I believe Loyal's house is back here. You're gonna say, wow, how do you know so much about this? Well, because, like, I've looked around a lot, and I've had to use Google. Loyal's house. Loyal? I swear, if this glitch happens again, I'm gonna be mad. Okay. It's not the end of the world, though. He could be in the hangar. Actually, I'm betting that's where he is. It's probably he's in the hangar at day and house at night. Alright, jump. Such a good story that Raul has. That's one thing I really like about this game. Each character has his or her own story. There are some really good side quest stories, or companion side quests. Loyal, there he is.
I hope Pearl knows what she's doing, letting you wander around Nellis as you please.
I have to admit, I really like the fact that I'm actually getting this right. I'm looking for ways to make myself useful.
If that's so, how about you look into repairing the solar arrays on the roof of the generator building? Nothing too complicated about it, but it's a long ways to walk my old bones, and there's been that ant problem over near there. You can't miss the array. It's on top of the generator building smack dab in the middle of Nellis, between the 2 runways.
Or should I look for spare parts?
Ha! If we had spare parts, do you think I'd be asking you to fix the damn things? That's rich. No, we ran out of spares a while back, and Jack and I have been doing our best to patch the arrays up as best we can. Sadly, we're at our wits' end. There have to be spare parts somewhere around the wasteland, but I just don't know where to direct you. You may have noticed we don't get out much.
Let's talk about something else.
All right. What's on your mind?
Can I get a code to use the VR pods in the mess hall?
No, those aren't for outsiders to use. Leave them alone.
I'm genuinely interested in your people's history. What are the pods for? We'll see these later.
Well, if you genuinely care so much, they're flight simulators. If you don't know our history yet, you should see Pete and get the tour. We dream to one day rule the skies.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Alright, I'm wondering if that was enough, because I've never done Loyal.
That's a good thing to see, huh, Mark?
Yes! What are you talking about?
That Loyal guy. He's getting up there in years, but he still finds a way to make himself useful to his people. If you ask me, that's better than withering away all alone or holding on to some faded piece of glory from your past.
Those using his knowledge to help his tribe, I think it's a noble goal.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
What's in your mind?
Old history, boss. After the fire, I knew my sister and I couldn't stay at Hidalgo Ranch anymore. The refugees still wanted me dead. They even put a bounty on me. I remember how scared Rafaela was. I told her if she came with me, we'd see the vaqueros. She used to love the rodeo, especially the trick rider. We figured maybe we could find help in Mexico City. We were young. We didn't know what had happened, really. We didn't understand about the bombs.
Wasn't it Mexico City and basically annihilated in the Great War?
I don't think it was as hard hit as D.C. or Bakersfield, but it was bad enough. By the time we got there, the city was a radioactive ruin. Still, the city was full of looters, already forming into the beginnings of raider tribes. Crime was bad before the war, but now it was a nightmare. We were living like scavengers, scraping by on what little food we could find, always looking for medicine for my burns. And then, of course, the radiation started to kick in, turning me into this handsome devil you see before you.
Sounds pretty bad.
You're a poet of understatement, boss. But there were moments it was almost worth it. I still remember finding that novelty costume shop. I was just looking around for something I could slice up to wrap my burns when I saw the vaquero outfit hanging on the rack like it hadn't been touched. I took it, not like anybody else needed it, you know, and wore it back to our camp. Rafaela laughed, for the first time since the bombs had fallen.
Wasn't it dangerous to be dressed so noticeably?
It was. I started to build up a legend. Sometimes it headed off trouble, but most of the times it just started more. Young punks looking to prove themselves would come looking for me, but my eyes were sharp and my guns were quick. For a while, it seemed like we might even survive there, until Rafaela. She went out to find some food one day. I was sick, so I stayed at our camp. I guess it must have been the beginning of radiation poisoning. Anyway, it was supposed to be safe, but some raiders happened to pass through where she was scavenging. I won't speak of what they did to her. When I found her body, the only way to recognize her was this funny little scar on her knee from when she was a little girl. Terrible doesn't begin to cover it, boss. I led my whole family down. First the ranch, now Rafaela. I was the last Tejada. I guess maybe I went a little crazy then. I took my guns and went back to that market. I didn't have many bullets, but I had enough. After the raiders were dead, I salvaged what I could from the store. I was tired. I just wanted to be alone forever. I left Mexico City behind. I made my way out to the Gulf Coast. Eventually, I found an old Petro Chico refinery nobody had claimed. I stayed there for a little while, and I thought a lot about my life. I thought about the guns I'd lived by, and what they'd gotten me. I decided my guns hadn't gotten me anything, and it was time to give it up. I took off the old vaquero outfit and put on a Petro Chico jumpsuit. The name tag said Miguel, so I started using the name myself. Eventually, I made it to Arizona. That's another story, boss.
Alright, and the last place that we have to go is over by Vegas, I think. I want to go to the Morat Ranch. Now, I'm not sure exactly where this place is, but I have a decent idea. Okay, trying to get my bearings a little. I need to okay, so there's Vegas itself. We're going to want to head to the outskirts. I'm going to Camp McCarran, for any of you who are familiar with this. And if this doesn't work, then I actually have to go do something real quick, and I'll be looking for another place. It's the Crimson Caravan Company. It's always nice. Alright, Camp McCarran's pretty darn huge. It's kind of hard to miss. Well, I wouldn't put it past me right now. So I hope you guys are enjoying the story. I know it's really sad and all that, but it's such a good story. Okay, Camp McCarran. Camp McCarran. Whew, I may have to look it up. I may have to go and doing some of the things I have to do and then come back. That'd be okay. You know what, that's actually what I'm going to end up doing, guys. So, I will come back to this, and so I'll see you guys in what for you will be like 1 second. Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading from the Freeside Eastgate, we're going to be heading northeast. At least I hope this is the right way. From my notes tell me that this is the way to go. We're going to discover the Crimson Caravan Company. There we go. That'll become relevant later, as will basically everything, as I keep saying. Alright. Obviously, if it's not over here, I'm just going to cut ahead until I wander around and find it. Yeah, so I'll be cutting ahead. Hold on, guys.